It's very apropos that I've had to restart this video multiple times, record it again, because it's a Mercury retrograde period. July 18th until August 11th, Mercury retrograde in Leo. And so that's sort of something that happens. All of the RE words is the best thing to remember, RE. This is like, did you ever watch Pee-wee's Playhouse? I don't know, I watched that as a kid, and there was the word of the day, or the secret word.
Today's secret word is fun.
So for retrograde, it's anything with an RE. It's just to remember those things because it has to do with going back. Retreat, reverse, revert, recall, recede, regress, revisit, recoil, rebound, relapse. You can make a nice poem out of that, or a rap, perhaps. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. And not only is Mercury retrograde, we have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde, Pluto retrograde. So there's some clues there. But most important is going to be Mercury, because Mercury is a personal planet. It's a very fast moving planet. It has to do so much with our everyday lives: communication, commerce, money, markets, the internet, most of the way we communicate nowadays and get things done. So it's going to be an interesting few weeks. Mercury retrogrades happen about 3 times a year. I made another video about Mercury retrograde I really enjoyed. It was a fun, creative one. It had to do with Live Aid and the concert in the 80s. It's an anytime video. You can watch it. It gives you all the details about what a Mercury retrograde is every single time. So it's kind of a fun way to learn about that. I'll link it in the description below. But this one in Leo, why is this one unique? Well, Leo has had Mars retrograde. Mars retrogrades once every 2 years, and that just really was a huge part of what was going on in the sky. Now Mercury's coming in and pushing our little button in that area again. So something in the Leo part of our world, ourselves, our own lives, our charts, is asking us to slow down and look back. Take a little time to reassess what's going on in that area of your life. Now, if you don't know, like where is it? I don't know. What you need to do is find out what's your rising sign. Whole sign houses makes this so much easier. So if you know you're a Leo rising, hey, that's your first house. This one is all about you. If you're a Scorpio rising, it's a 10th house thing. This is about your work. It's about your career, your reputation. I'll put a few resources, resources, yay! I'll put some resources in the description below to help you decode this yourself a little bit more. The Wheel of Astrological Houses, I'll put that on the screen with us right now. This is from Demetra George. You can download that on my website, elnatalie.com. And you just have to look at your chart and see where Leo is, 1 through 12. And that will be the area of life that's getting focused in on. If something comes up that you have to deal with during the next 3 weeks, maybe you sent the email to the wrong person, or you realize you've signed a contract that you need to get out of. Well, this is just the way it's designed. And it's a good time to ask yourself a few introspective questions, maybe like what has to do with that Leo heart, courage, bravery. It's very Gryffindor, the Leo section of our chart. Like, where do we need to be courageous, share our light? The superstar Leo part of us is a place where we have charisma and an ability to be a leader. There's kind of a good news, bad news thing going on here. Maybe it's a bad news thing for some people, the retrograde. Life happens to everybody in its own way. There's multiple things happening at all times for everybody. But halfway through, the first half is maybe the more challenging bit, 18th through the 31st. That's where we're facing what's not working. We're digging in, being more honest, slowing down. And then there's a Cazimi, Mercury Cazimi. That's when Leo season, okay, Sun's in Leo, that's where it belongs. Sun is in its domicile in Leo. It's its one and only home space. It's very, very powerful there. And then Mercury comes in and combines with the sun there. That's the 31st. And so that could be a time where things start clearing up for us, where we start seeing the solutions. The forward motion is coming. We're feeling lighter about the challenges, or the answers have started to come. Could be happening there. And as Mercury shifts, we're approaching that part of our chart, whatever it is, in maybe a different way. I'm going to share a little personal anecdote about Mercury retrograde. And if you're not into personal anecdotes from astrologers, I totally get it. I'll talk to you next time. I like you just the way you are. If you're into it, okay, here it goes. So I've been spending some time the last week traveling with my family, and there's a quote from Ram Dass that I remembered when I got home, and it says, "If you think you're enlightened, go spend a week with your family." And it does test you in multiple ways, doesn't it? Especially when you're not used to being together all the time in a very small space with one bathroom, multiple people. Anyway, when you come back home, you restart. You restart your life again. You know, you're back into a refreshed space. So like going on a trip, going somewhere, and then going back home, that's kind of a retrograde experience as well. So we were actually in Washington, D.C. That was my first time ever going there. So I'm 46. I've lived my whole life with this image of what Washington, D.C. is and what these places are, and the Smithsonian, the museums, and all this stuff. This isn't going to be political, so don't worry. But we did go into the White House. That was the opportunity that we had, and can't pass that up. You know, it's like pretty amazing to get to go into that historical building. And I'm into history and architecture and all that stuff. So that was part of the experience. But when you have an image of something and then you experience it, you kind of have to rethink it. You have to reanalyze what is the reality versus the perception versus reality. Going into, I mean, and honestly, I was expecting a lot from a lot of images that I had in my mind that I built up over time. And then now I'm rethinking a lot of things. And rather than making assumptions and assessments without experience in anything, right? Not just traveling or whatever, but this can be applied to anything. Then you have your own first person experience, your own first person account. And that's the most reliable account. Of course, we all have our filters and our biases, our judgments, but going into it firsthand, that is going to get you the closest to what you are feeling. That's the filter that you're going to be going through. Your most close thing to truth is going to be through a personal experience. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, resetting, restarting my life again in my own family, my house, and that's what we're all doing. My son and I found a bookstore at the very last minute. Bummer, because it was such a good bookstore. So good. And I picked a book. He picked a book as well. The book I picked is The Deep History of Ourselves, the 4 billion year story of how we got conscious brains by Joseph Ledoux. And feels very retrograde, right? Looking back 4 billion years, Smithsonian Natural History Museum that was a really cool one. So I'll be reading that. Another thing I want to tell you, if you're still here at the end, you may be interested in my membership on YouTube. It's $1.99 a month. We're reading through Astrology, Karma, and Transformation, the Inner Dimensions of the Birth Chart by Stephen Arroyo. Such a cool book. It's a very small group. It's a little more intimate. I'm just super authentic, doing whatever I do and not putting any filters on myself, going through these ideas about what is karma and how does it relate to the birth chart? What are we doing here? Like, where can we find how to transform to become the ultimate version of ourselves, our ideal version of whatever this incarnation is, and what does it all mean? So it's not too late to join. We've only gotten through a little bit, and you can always watch back the videos that we've done already. So if that's something you're into, I'll put that in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, a nice Mercury retrograde. So let's flip the script on it. Why not make it fun? It's a good time, right? I like you just the way you are. I will talk to you next time. Okay.